Now, why are people going after Elon Musk?
Well, Media Matters, this disgusting, vile, hateful group whose mission in life is to ruin the professional careers of conservatives or people who don't subscribe to progressive woke think, is trying to take him down. They're trying to get X closed. They're trying to get Elon labeled an anti-Semite, and they are on a tear. So what they did is according to Elon, they went over on X, they created an account, and then they just kept liking anything that was anti-Semitic that they could find. And of course, it being a free speech platform, you're going to find some things. You can find anything on TikTok, biased either way. And so they just kept liking it. And the way the algorithm works is it will feed you content of the type that you have been liking. And so they developed a Twitter feed that was very, very anti-Semitic. And then eventually ads appeared, only a couple from these blue chip brands. But when they got them up, they took screen grabs, and then they would refresh the content and get another screen grab of the next advertiser to make it look like these ads were promoting anti-Semitic content all over Twitter. When in fact, what Elon says is literally only this one account that kept liking intentionally anti-Semitic comment was showing these ads. So it was a targeted takedown by Media Matters of X and Elon. Now, in any sane world, these advertisers would say, Media Matters is the disgusting hack partisan group that does nothing other than try to get conservatives canceled. We're not listening to them. But life being what it is, they didn't do that. And they saw an opportunity to say, okay, I'm out, and look like the virtuous corporate warriors they purport to be. And so companies like Apple and IBM pulled their ads off Twitter, now X. And that's a forum that's already suffering from the pullout of advertisers, thanks to the bad press that Elon has taken. So we need Twitter to survive, X now to survive, because it's one of the only, if not the only forum in America where you really do have free speech, warts and all. And people need to push back on this disgusting group, Media Matters, whose president has got a long history of saying very bigoted things against Jews, against trans people. There's a long list that's been documented. He just dismisses it as, oh, I was younger. Well, that doesn't excuse it. And we need to stand up for Elon Musk and X, because if you think he's the last, you're wrong. Whoever decides to launch and nurture a platform that isn't far left will eventually come under Media Matters attack. And the rest of us need to recognize a targeted hit job versus a genuine, legit controversy.
Now, of course, to further explain to people, you see, these hit jobs are all about trying to sort of unleash a hit squad of people who then go and complain to advertisers, and they've done this to many organisations around the world. But it's the same very small group of people that don't buy any of the products, but they take all of their messages from sort of anti-centre or anti-centre-right media organisations, don't they?
Well, one of the most disgusting things is all the press is, of course, deliriously happy to see Elon get hit and to see X get hit. So you've got articles on this promoting, anti-Semitic behavior by Elon, by Twitter, in the New York Times, on CNN, all the usual suspects. Meanwhile, the New York Times is just fine with hiring a guy who is literally a Hitler lover, who has posts within the past few years saying, oh, Hitler, how right you were. I adore you. You were so brilliant. That guy got a job at the New York Times. Media Matters, no hit job. Twitter allows some Media Matters employee to create an anti-Semitic account where he decides he wants to keep liking these tweets over and over. That's got to lead to the collapse of Twitter. The media is so disgusting in its hypocrisy. Anyone paying attention can see it. Unfortunately, most people have lives to live, and they just hear, oh, it's anti-Semitic now, I guess I don't support it. In today's day and age, you have to pay attention.
My favourite story of the day is that Argentina has a new president. He looks crazy, but his ideas will be interesting to see if they work.
Okay, so this guy, Javier Milei, is fascinating. Just a quick Google search tells me that he openly says he loves tantric sex, that he is a big promoter of threesomes, that he thinks he can speak to his dead dog via telepathy and is not embarrassed to admit it, that he had his dogs cloned and they're running around, I guess, advising him in the for life as well as the after. He wants to get rid of virtually all of Argentina's government. And the people support this because they have 110% inflation in Argentina. It's a hot mess down there. So they are ready for a revolution. And, we've seen this in place after place, not only the United States with Trump, but the UK had its period with Brexit. They've sort of calmed down and gone more traditionalist as of late. Now Argentina. The people are rising up against these so-called elites. And the more in your face these candidates are, the more beloved they become with the base. This guy, I mean, I'm sure you've seen some of the clips, because he's out there saying, you can't give, quote, libtards even an inch, not an inch. The rhetoric is colorful. It's entertaining. I wouldn't say it's unifying. It's definitely very divisive. But their country, like ours, is kind of in a fighting mood, and not in the mood to be offended by this lowbrow mudslinging. Rather, in the mood to join in it. It feels cathartic, and it feels for many like it's about time. So I can't wait to see what he does. I am sure it's going to be very controversial, but as Trump once put it, hey, what do you have to lose?